We are back with episode 6 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Last episode was incredible. I thought that the changes I made from the book were understandable and really still highlighted the important character aspects. And I'm very excited because this episode contains my favorite scene from the book, which is the conversation that Percy and Annabeth have inside that zoo animal transport truck. So I'm very hopeful they're going to keep that because they have been showing such a good emphasis on character. I have seen some complaints that they aren't including enough of the action elements from the book, and I do see that, and these books definitely have some great action. And with the way they redid the big tunnel of love scene in the last episode, I do see that it's definitely a lot less action than it was in the book. I personally don't mind as much. My favorite action scene in the series doesn't come until the third book. Not that I don't like the action in book one, I really do, but so far none of the action we've lost has really been oh, that was a really cool action scene. Now, there is a really cool action scene coming up later in the book that we are definitely going to get. It is a scene that will be there because it's crucial to the plot, and that's one where action and character are really lumped together, and that one will definitely be there. And obviously we had a lot of the big action much earlier in the book. I will say the only other one, I didn't really love how they did the Mrs. Dodge fight, so I do understand, the complaints about the action. But they also said the spiders that were in the Thrill Ride of Love scene in the book would have been a production nightmare, and I understand that when making a TV show, there are things you can't necessarily do that you can write in a book, that it's a lot more difficult to actually film. Yeah, just addressing that, I do understand that some people are missing the action, but I think what we are getting is really good. There have been some changes that I haven't been the biggest fan of, and I think at the end of the season, I might do a video where I explain after we have a look at the whole thing, what I do and don't like about what they changed from the book, and the highlights and lowlights of the season. But overall, I've been really, really liking it, and the few changes are not huge. They more have me worried for what is being set up than they are actually issues in the moment. And, I'm going to choose to believe the best because a lot of work went into this show. And also, some things are just going to have to change for TV because it is a different medium. And even if, I'm very attached to a certain way it was done in the book, it has to change. Some of the changes don't seem like it's for that reason. But again, I'll get into that later. Right now, I have talked enough. So let's get into episode 6. The zoo truck scene and Lotus Casino. I am very excited to see how it all plays out. So I saw the episode description, and that's already a really good sign because there have been some worrying set up with them intentionally going to the casino that they might not have the whole sort of it's a mirage trap kind of thing. So the description applies, so we are still getting that. Very excited. This was a really good sequence in the book, so let's get into it.
Give you the tools to steal the Master Bolt, only to watch it taken from you. Mistake has been corrected, but there is too much at stake for you to fail me again.
The headmaster of the school?
Love.
I assume he's just looking like his headmaster, and his headmaster's not actually.
Chiron's holding camp together with both hands. Everyone thinks we're going to war, so the cabins are taking sides.
Oh.
Please tell me you're calling.
Gotta arrest her. Find out what she knows. There's more to this than just the bolt. Something bigger.
Hey.
Don't ask me how I know. You just gotta trust me.
Ooh. Why not just mention his
name?
Could have been a lot worse. Right, so Medusa on Saturday.
God. What is this?
What?
Why did you turn into an old married couple?
Not to...
He's gonna try to talk us out of it.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Where's the zebra?
Them. Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll... Yeah, I don't know, but the animals are all set.
Okay, come on. Can I agree to just try?
Whoa.
Odysseus lands on a beach. There's these guys who've forgotten where they came from, forgot everything that was important to them. And they got that way because they ate
the lotus flowers. What do you think, wise girl?
Wise girl!
Don't eat anything.
He said it!
Wait, why were you looking at me when you said that?
An insult, though. All the food, because he ate Medusa. Plus, I know it was a while ago. I love that they
This is a lot bigger than it looked from the outside.
Captains that can't have to go to war.
He could be anywhere.
In the musical?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Captain Gerva's feeling a little...
Like meeting his mom. She's a seer.
A human who can see through the mist.
Whoa. Whoa, we
Sometimes
did
I
not
see
get
stuff that messes them up.
this backstory until
Scary stuff.
5.
Stuff that hasn't happened.
I just realized we skipped their conversation in the zoo truck. And that's actually really exciting. But they decide, like, since the cabins are going to war, who they're going to stand with. That's
Wait!
very exciting.
I found Pan.
What?
Yeah.
Almost. Here you are.
Whoa.
Will you help me?
Look,
This is a trick.
There are things I don't know.
yeah, but if you don't...
I don't have my searcher's license to look for Pam.
If you want to.
Not eating the flowers, then why are you forgetting things?
They upgraded.
A little
We're friends of Luke's.
Hey.
Yeah. Time and space are easy, kids. Parenting is something else entirely. Have a seat.
It's all your fault. That he hated you.
Why would you bring this up to a god, girl? He can smite
Help
you.
us get to the...
Warned that no matter how much I tried to help, I would just make things worse.
Oof. What?
Should I remind you too?
I remember. Just
Come on.
fine.
I want an Annabeth flashback.
It was your father who warned me to stay away.
Whoa.
Said it was awful watching you
that's
struggle.
strange.
If we're all just doing the best we can.
Wow.
You picked Hermie's pocket?
I'm multi-talented. Now, all we have to do is find this car, and it'll instantly transport us
No
anywhere
way
we
the
want to
god
go.
of
We
thieves
still have
wouldn't
time to finish this
notice
quest
that.
before...
Who's Grover?
Oh, damn.
I remember Grover.
Oh, boy.
Man, Grover got really old. How long have we been here?
Hey!
I don't really like the way they changed this scene. I really I don't like that only Grover got into the games. Like, this Hermes talk was interesting, but it means Percy and Annabeth didn't get sucked into the games. And it means
Grover?
that Percy didn't, like, realize and break out of it.
Grover!
I don't really like that.
Finding the car isn't the quest.
There's more?
Jeez.
Should have known the god of thieves noticed his pocket getting picked.
Yes, thank you, okay. You would
Back
have
door to the underworld.
I killed the Minotaur in my first try, right?
Oh,
How
God.
hard could this be?
Okay. I understand why they couldn't have just done what they did in the books where they
You're
get a
doing
regular
great.
cab.
Maybe...
So, if they're gonna secret entry to the underworld, does that mean we're not gonna get to meet Karen? Because that's very annoying. He was busy smiling at her. Woo, they got lucky. That was kind of ridiculous conceit that we have to get on the road, drive out of the garage. Okay, whatever.
My best friends.
We weren't alone.
Aww.
It's easy to forget what's important when you're alone.
Line has elapsed. Your father has gone to marshal his forces and prepare for war.
What?
He asked her to relay a message. This is not your fault.
Deadline
You're
has
brave,
what?
strong. You made your father proud.
I don't like this. I don't like this
Now,
at all.
this time,
Okay, in the book, the deadline
I'm going to see this through.
passed. They've
you are
only had
released from your quest.
1 day
I don't
left.
care.
So willful. Just like him.
Because he does not want to do his duty.
There. Each will provide
No.
one of you safe passage.
No.
Hold fast, Mom.
Aww. Okay. I don't like to be negative, but I had a lot of issues with this episode. Like, more than with anything previous in the show. There was one, like, especially major thing I had an issue with, but the preview for next week seems to have fixed that issue. It is a spoiler, so I will get into it in my spoiler thoughts. But that one issue seems like it'll somehow be resolved. I don't love that it needs to be changed that way. but at least it looks like they will be resolving that. But I don't like how they did the Lotus Casino scene. This is what I was worried about for multiple reasons. Hermes told Percy that the time had moved differently. Their days were out. I'll get into that later. In the book, well, I liked that conversation with Hermes. Like, that was okay. But in the book, Percy and Annabeth also fell into the trap and were, like, sucked into the, like, being in the casino and all of that. And Percy had to realize on his own what the thing with the casino was, and he broke out of it on his own, with his own intuition. Here, he didn't get sucked in, and he didn't figure it out on his own. Like, he didn't get either of those. It takes away, like, Percy's biggest, like what I think is Percy's biggest, like, intelligent moment from the books. And they don't do that. Like, neither Percy and Annabeth get sucked in. Only Grover does. I don't like that. Like, they both also have things that tempt them, and it's really upsetting that that wasn't included. The thing with Hermes, I'm interested for how it's going to affect his future appearances, but it seems okay. And the conversation about parenting and the gods was interesting. The idea that Poseidon was going to meet him personally was weird, and I really, really don't like that the deadline has already passed. I feel like that defeats everything. Like, in the book, it was that, like, they only had 1 day left, and then they were in a rush. They went down into the underworld, and the deadline passed while they were down in the underworld. And that they were like, Percy, you're released from your quest. Like, why? The world still needs to be saved? I don't know. And then, like, Poseidon marshalling for war, it's weird. I liked the mentions of the cabins at camp picking sides for the war, though, because that's something in the musical. There's a bonus track of them, like, trying to pick sides at camp, which is not really mentioned in the book, because we don't really get to see much at camp. Actually, I don't know if Luke mentions it when they Iris message him in the book, now that I think about it. But I like that Percy's just like, arrest Clarice. Like, it's that easy. I have a lot of thoughts. I hope Percy's headmaster was just like the way the dream was presenting itself to him and not actually the big bad, because that'd be very weird to me. A lot of this felt very weird to me. And they skipped the scene in the zoo truck, which, given that they had Luke mention the cabin picking sides, I thought that was a perfect setup for the way that scene goes in the books. Which, in the books, I mean, obviously, the show cut out the whole thing where Annabeth is worried about being friends with Percy because Athena and Poseidon are rivals. But in the book, Percy says Athena and Poseidon will probably be on opposite sides. Athena will side with Zeus against Poseidon, and then we'd be on opposite sides of the war. And Annabeth says, I don't know what my mom will do. I just know that I'll stand beside you. And Percy says, why? And she says, because you're my friend, seaweed brain. Any other stupid questions? And that moment, for me, I made a video of my top 10 Percabeth moments in the entire, like, series. Not just this series, but all the series of the universe. And that was number 3 of all of them. Like, that is their moment. And we didn't get it. And it's really upsetting because that was the thing I was most looking forward to see. And we didn't have it. And that's really upsetting. We also didn't have Percy talking to the zebra because it's a horse type thing and he can talk to horses. We didn't even see a zebra at all, even though the name of the episode is We Take a Zebra to Vegas. Where was the zebra? There was no zebra. Like, it's honestly beyond baffling. But they did throw in a lot of Luke backstory we don't get until the 5th book. Like, how is it that was important to move up, but a lot of the important stuff from this book wasn't included? I mean, not that I mind getting the Luke backstory necessarily. It was interesting. It does color the way Hermes interacts with them. Again, I'm curious how it'll show up with Hermes' future appearances, but I just don't love the way this was done. Also, the whole driving thing, I don't know. Okay, so spoiler time now. If that's not you, thanks for watching. Yeah, I don't like that they apparently have a secret entrance into the underworld and are not going to meet Karen. I don't know why that would be cut. Like, them going through the main entrance was, like, a really interesting thing that was done in the book, and they're going to cut that out. But I am much more concerned about the fact that she gave him 4 pearls and told them what they were for. The whole point in the book, he didn't question only 3 because he didn't know what they were for, and then he realized only 3, so he can't get Sally out of the underworld. And the whole thing with the prophecy is that he can't save Sally, and he can't get her out of the underworld. So I mean, because of the trailer for next time, where he says, like, you two will leave with my mom, and then, like, says, hold fast, Mom, I think somehow they're gonna lose a pearl, but then why not just give them 3? Like, I don't know. I am not a fan, and I'm also wondering where the narrator got the pearls, given that, like, Poseidon had given them to him in the book, but if Poseidon is now, like, given up, marshaling his forces, saying the quest is over, why would Poseidon even have those? I don't know. I wish I had happier thoughts, but I'm not loving this episode. But, yeah, let me know what you thought. Still excited for the ending. This one was weird. Thanks for watching.